Hello, good people of Tonya's Witchy Kitchen. How are you doing today? It's a beautiful day. So, are you a jealous person? Are you a person who looks at the neighbor and is, or envious, whichever, and you just like, they have the new vehicle and it's always clean and you know, it just seems like they have their whole life put together and it's just everything's going good for them. And it seems like every time you turn around, something's kicking you in the ass. I guess that's not jealous. That's just like, what the heck, right? I'm just curious, you know. But then sometimes sometimes they don't really have their life all put together. It's just fake, right? Like social media, fake. Yeah. That's a good question. I guess I don't go around looking at people's, what they have and what they don't have. And I mean, I kind of snicker when I drive past the car wash and, there's 5 vehicles in line and the first one looks like they just drove it out of the garage and they're getting the dust off. And the second one's a little dirty. And, the last one looks like they went mud bogging, through the section lines, which is what my vehicle usually looks like. I did try to get my son to wash it the other day, but he was busy doing other things. So, yeah, I could take it to the car wash, but I just, now, to me, yeah, if you got the money, okay, but I have a hose. It'll work. It's just a question. Do you compare yourself to others? Because you really shouldn't. You really shouldn't compare yourself because money is not a social standing. I guess it's all perspective and how you look at it, but okay. But anyway, today we are doing, I can't remember. I think we're doing a soap. I can't remember if it's the hot process soap or if it was the gems soaps. I just can't remember. So you already know because you've seen the thumbnail photo and I haven't. So anyway, we'll get right to it. 3 things. Be kind, be forgiving, be you, and let's go check out this video on I don't know what. Into our first soap. I've always wanted to do a monthly soap, like for a birthday month, and I saw this girl's picture this girl had done of a hot process soap and it looked kind of crystally and rocky. There's my favorite, Micah. And it was just so pretty. And I haven't done the hot process part yet. But I just got to thinking, like, what if I rebatched a couple of some other soaps that I have laying around that are doing nothing, right? So there's my soap chunks. It took a while because these are from the blueberry smoothie bars. They're quite a ways back, and so they were pretty hard. So I just took my favorite colored mica and put it in the bag and rolled it around, just for extra glitter appeal, really. And but yeah, I wanted to do a monthly one, and I thought gemstones would be super cool. And guess what? Nature's Garden just came out today with a line of fragrance oils for birthstones. I just about fell over. So here is my homemade melt and pour soap. I am adding glycerin, a little bit of alcohol. I'm not sure if I added the fragrance oil. My fragrance oil I'm using is Moonchild by Brambleberry. It's a nice all-round. I don't know why. And why did I start with green? I don't know. Maybe because we have May coming up and we have quite a few birthdays in May. That seemed like a good plan of sorts. Yep, there goes my fragrance oil into my melt and pour that I've melted. Okay, so my whole thing with this was so off kilter. I should have known this. Okay, I was gonna melt it, and I think my problem was I didn't have my oven temp high enough. It was at like 200, and I think it just needed to be hotter for a little bit longer. But so I poured those little chunky squares in there, and I put the melt and pour over. If I would have stopped here, it would have been fine. It really would have. But I proceeded to pour the rest of the soap on top and not any more melt and pour. Okay? And then I just stuck it in my oven for a while. It was in there for quite a while, you guys. Like at least 2 hours, and it hardly moved. Well, the melt and pour moved, as you can see. But it only stuck to the bottom portion. See? So I had the whole top crumbling off. And I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work. What's my option number 2? I just liked cutting the soap. What's option number 2? Option number 2 is going to be, we are going to crock pot it. And I know you think that it's not going to work, but the melt and pour is going to melt faster than the cubes are. Okay, so into the pot. I'm sorry, my filming was atrocious on this video, but it was so much fun. I just wanted to see, like, you need to have fun with your soaping. You need to, I mean, I hate wasting product, right? I've told you that before. I hate wasting supplies and stuff like that. But rebatching and rebatching, eventually I'm going to get a product that I do like. And if not, I will just rebatch it and give it to my husband because he'll use just about any soap. Not sure about the Moonchild fragrance for him, but he hasn't complained about any except for the firecracker, which was a rodeo soap. But as you can see, this has melted down, and the melt and pour has helped make those soap chunks smaller. So it's like melt and pour with liquid cold process in there, which is kind of a crazy thing to think about. But cold process turns into melt and pour, so therefore melt and pour can melt down cold process, right? So sounds like a test question on SAT or driving test, doesn't it? But obviously I did not pop this again. I just sprinkled some really cute eco glitter on top for more bling because it is a gem rebatch soap. That's what I'm going to call it. And let it set up overnight. Okay. And yep, break the airlock on that mold and try and push it out of there. We have a ton of birthdays in May. Very close people to me, so I was planning on maybe just passing this on to them and seeing what they think, just for funsies, along with my bath bombs that are on the line of crazy. And I actually cut this the wrong way. Yes, I did. Maybe not. I don't know. I used to make these molds all the time. This was the first mold I'd start with, and I would cut this into 8 bars. So you had to cut it the right way first, and then you cut it into 4. So I'm thinking maybe I did cut this the right way. I don't know. But aren't they just crazy? They're really kind of pretty too, with the melt and pour and the cold process. I'm sure it's not going to make a stellar bar because it's all going to fall apart, but they are really kind of cool looking, aren't they? Yeah, my grandson thought they were the bomb. But there you have it. Those are the Emerald Gem Soaps. I hope you have a good time. Thank you for dropping by, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.